5 things that every young man should do before he spends his first paycheck. Number 1 is open a separate savings account, right? One of the things I had to do when I was first started out was protect myself from myself, right? So not only do you want to open a separate savings account, but you want to open it with an account with no card attached to it. So set up something that you can't touch. So maybe like a high yield savings account, something like a credit union. So it is going to be inconvenient for you to touch it. And then once you set that up, you have to automate your savings. Meaning, like if you do it before the money even comes, where it's automated, where like, okay, when it hits this account, it automatically goes here. That's going to help you save your money. And then I think a good point for that is like saving like 10%. That's an easy place for you to start. Second thing is you want to pay off any existing debt that you have, right? And then you list the debt, like whatever one has the highest interest rate, you want to knock that out. So now you can put all of that money towards investing, okay? And then the next thing I teach people is you got to have at least a 1-month emergency buffer. So you got to set the foundation to be able to invest aggressively. And what happens to people is they say, okay, cool, I went to invest, but now an emergency comes up and what do? Now you got to touch the investments. The other thing you got to understand is like your take-home pay versus your gross pay. A lot of people get this mistaken, even entrepreneurs, right? All the money that you make is not your money, right? And so sometimes what's tricky about life is that you can get approved for a car or a house or an apartment based on your gross. Well, that's before taxes, that's before all this stuff. And so now your net, your take-home pay is much less than that, okay? And so you can get approved for credit cards on that. You get approved for cars on that. You get approved for all of this stuff. So you'll be shocked by how much money actually disappears when you start tracking. If you're in a season where you're trying to build and you want to get ahead, you've got to be laser being focused in your finances. The next thing is some of it's so good, like we can spend the money before we get it and we know exactly where it's going. Well, you got to do the same thing with your investing. You got to do the same thing with your budget. So you have to tell your money what to do and where it should be going. Budgets aren't restrictions. A lot of people think it is. No, it is a discipline and they're permission slips for spending within limits. And then what we do is once we get that set, if you're not happy with those numbers, now we got to focus on building your income and building skill sets to make you more valuable in the marketplace. That make sense?